Welcome, everybody, to our Woman Empowering Woman. This is a space on Mondays at it's noon my time in Toronto, but we have our Platinum International Gabriela Daughtry from San Diego, so it's actually 9 a.m. over there. We have our co-host Judy from Texas, and it's 11 a.m. So if we get some people from Nigeria or from Philippines, which we have some leaders that sometimes come in, it'll be evening in the other side of the world. So we are here for, we call it Monday Motivation. What we want to do is create a space where Monday is actually the day where we have a long to-do list and we don't know even where to start sometimes. So we want to just make sure that Monday is a space where you have a place to get excited and unload some of the things that from the weekend, and not just fake that Monday morning enthusiasm that you have to wake up and as soon as you get the kids out of the house and the husband to work and then you have to take your own responsibilities, you already feel exhausted like an elephant is stepping on you and that you're not going to be able to drag yourself out of the house. So this is what this is about. This is a space where women can actually feel that they can take the world, they can take the day, and that the superwoman, superhero is not only in your Pinterest post and in your Facebook post, but is actually inside of you, because we do have that power. And as women, we also have the power to empower and motivate each other. Today's a special kind of meeting. Normally, we don't record these ones. These are being recorded. So if you're watching in an after recording, this is a special one because we have as a guest speaker. So we always like to feature at least once a month one of our special women of this group that we are creating, this movement of Woman Empowering Woman. And today our guest is Irenne Rodriguez from Orlando. So she's going to take the floor in a minute and tell us incredible things about her life. We all have a great story. And I'm going to pass on my mic to Judy and then Gabriela Daughtry. Go ahead, Judy.
Oh, I just want to welcome everyone. I'm so happy to see everybody. And, you know, we had a wonderful weekend. I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day and fun with their families. We certainly did. And we have a lot of personal things going on here. And so, you know, life goes on for all of us and we just keep on trucking. And we have several doctors that are on our list and that we're really working with, and I'm so excited about that. I just it's a big thing for us here in East Texas. So I'm really hoping that all of this comes to fruition, and you just have to set your foundation and then just start building it. So that's where we're headed, and I just hope everybody has plans for this week, and I just want to thank you for joining. We're just happy to see everybody. And Gabby, can you give us
okay, well, hope you all had a good Mother's Day, actually memorable Mother's Day. I did, you know, it was, my daughter made me breakfast. She always does that. You know, she's always, of course, she's a girl, but that doesn't mean the boys can't do it. But anyhow, what I want to share with you is there's a book I got on Amazon. It's called The Well-Fed Microbe Cookbook. And since we're all into the probiotics and learning more about it, because we have an amazing probiotic with the prebiotic and transfer factors, I figured why not, right? And basically it has recipes basically to go with if we want to really go as far as feeding our gut to feel better. And I mean, it's got some really good recipes in here. I haven't even started making them because I just received this on Friday. But I mean, it's like omelet. It just helps you figure out what kind of foods we need to fix our gut. And I'm the kind of person that I research everything. Even if a doctor gives me a prescription, I research the side effects. And then I determine, you know what? I don't need this. And I'll just keep doing what I do, right? But it has so many recipes and resources. And it actually just tells you also why it's so important. It says the damaged gut, weight, blood sugar, and more. And one thing I like about this book is too is the gut-brain connection. People don't realize that when you have an imbalance in your gut, bad gut bacteria, it's because it could cause mental issues as well. And if you eat out too much, or you eat too much sugar, and you probably even consume a lot of antibiotics, it could kill the good bacteria. And sometimes if you don't replenish that with good bacteria because you don't know any better, like even going and replenishing it with probiotics. Just the word probiotics isn't something that I even share with my friends. They heard of it, but they don't take them. And it's amazing. So that's another way we can promote our business, because if you've taken antibiotics ever, you need probiotics. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys is on our convention, when we were at the jazz game, I was talking to Dr. Vollmer and his beautiful wife. I mean, they're such wonderful people. And I was asking them about what can we do to basically build our business. We can't say we can't promote diseases and stuff. Obviously, that's not something we do. But we can say anything that our product profile on the profiles of the product say. We can memorize it and do a Facebook Live on it, presenting the product. This is what it does, and you'll be fine. So I just wanted to remind you, ladies, if you want to do a Facebook or a Facebook Live or even a Facebook post, you can say anything that's on that profile, okay? And you won't get in trouble. Or even the new brochures, anything that's listed on that, or just take some bullet points and just promote your business that way if you want. Anyhow, thank you for being here. It's great to see you. You guys look all spunky. And anyway, I'll let Claudia introduce Irene.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to introduce our guest today, because I actually met this guest through this Woman Empowering Woman. And I have heard more things, excellent things about this woman than I actually know. Gabriela Daughtry, who is the person that introduced me to Irene, just has so many good and she knows her for a long time. But what I have found and what I have admired about her is the way that she handles her business, handles the 2 little kids that she has at home, because she'll tell us maybe a little bit about that, and still has a great relationship, which is also a business relationship with her husband, who is also a leader. So when I find these couples that are what we call power couples in network marketing, I always find that it's beautiful, because what we saw at the beginning when we created this movement is that one of the things that people do not do is support that partner. So support, if as we talked with another of our leaders, when we introduced her, if you have 2 people working the business together, just like the Platinum Gabriela Daughtry did with our Platinum Dave Daughtry, then the business has a more likelihood to succeed. If you have a partner that is nagging you and that is not believing in you and that is destroying your dreams, then you have a double fight, because it doesn't mean that the man or the woman are going to actually leave the dream. Many do, but some don't leave the dream, but they end up having very big fights with their husbands or partners. So this is what Irene has shown me in the past few months that I've met her, which is, it is a great relationship. I see them in so many events and pictures, and this is what people dream about when they're in network marketing and they are married, or they have a couple, or sometimes even a family member. I don't have a husband, but I actually have a mother. And for me, it's very important that I live with this woman. If she does not believe in me, then I lose my momentum. I need my circle, my close circle, to believe in my dream and what I'm doing. So with that, I'm going to actually let Irene tell us a little bit more about herself. I did send her a set of questions, but Irene, you're free to tell us everything you want, and then we open up for questions. And so from Orlando, Irene Rodriguez, yay!
Thank you, Claudia. I am so excited to share tonight, today, my story with you. It's been 8 years now, well, since 2009, so that makes it 9 already, that I've been part of this company. First of all, when I started this business, I was 22 years old. Hold on, let me connect my phone. Got no battery. I was 22 years old when I started this business, and I used to be an occupational therapist working in a nursing home. When I was 20 years old, I graduated as it's an occupational therapy assistant. To my surprise, when I started working, I started earning more than $60,000 a year, and I was just 20 years old, living with my parents. So from that, I bought my house. I bought my own car. I was good economically. I was fine. But then I found out, working with the elderly, it's something that you have to love and be passionate about. I was and I'm still are passionate about, the elderly and working with them. It's just somewhere in my heart, because some people love to work with children. I prefer the elderly. And that time, and it was so much fun in career. I had so many memories with great people. I learned so much. But when the time went on, years passed, and the passion just converted into just a daily routine, and just waking up early in the morning, going back to work, seeing the patients. And sometimes when you work in the health field, it was more about documenting what you did than the quality of the therapy itself. So you were more focused on that than what you could do with the patient, because of course you wanted to save you wanted to save your tuchus. People would tell me, but you wanted to save your back. And it was very uncomfortable that way, and working with other therapists that were in the field for more than 10, 20 years, they were tired to do that. They were always complaining they didn't have time. They wanted more time with the family. They were tired. And I didn't see myself doing that. And then I have my friend who I know for a long time, Jennifer Martinez, and Joel Rivera. They're Gold International Diamonds, but they didn't start as Gold International Diamonds. They started from the bottom, and I saw their progress for when they first started. They're one of the pioneers here in Orlando, Florida, when they started For Life, and I saw them work from the bottom. I mean, they started working in a place where it's Jennifer used to be cleaning dogs, bathing them in a vet's office, and Joel was a car. He used to wash cars for a living. He had his own company. But then I saw Jennifer just stop working there, and now she was full-time at this job. They started traveling all over. Joel stopped working as a washing cars. He used to wash cars, so he stopped doing that. I remember when their family members used to criticize them because they started doing this business. And when time passed, a few years now, that criticism converted more into admiration for them. Oh, Joel and Jennifer are doing much better. Their business is starting to grow. They're traveling more. And that's something that I saw in them, because I know where they started from. But you know what? They went through bankruptcy. I remember when they had a car that it had to be repossessed, and I remember it got repossessed. Those were their beginnings. I mean, and I remember Joel Rivera when his head was held up high. That man knew where he was going. He knew where his dream were, and that's how he is today. He hasn't changed a bit. I mean, he's always been like that, and I always admire that about them as a couple. But they just fought they just fought their adversities, and that got me thinking, wow, if Joel Rivera and Jennifer did this, I can do it. Because I didn't want to be working in a nursing home all my life like everybody else was doing who was working around me. So I called Joel one day and said, Joel, get me in there. I knew about For Life, yes, a little bit, because I had family members who were in the business but quit. A lot of family members. And when I started, they were all surprised that I decided to do it, knowing how I was economically. I didn't need this, but I knew the potential that it had for me to be free, to have freedom. And when I started going to the meetings and all this, I met my husband, Jose Sanchez. He was already not working. He used to be a professional baseball player. Hold on, so you guys can see me better. He used to be a professional baseball player and brought from Colombia when he was younger, in his 20s, and in his teen years. And he came here, but then he got his shoulder fractured and injured that he couldn't play anymore. So he ended up working in different jobs and all that. Then he started doing this business, and in 2 years he could stop doing what he was doing, working as an electrician. And there's where I met him at the meetings. I would see him doing the presentations and being very well dressed with his head held up high, and very secure of what he was doing. And that attracted me to him. I thought he was very good looking, very sharp, very smart. But of course, time passed on, and we got together. And one of the things, I thought that he was making a lot of money, with being dressed like that and all of that. But he was actually he was making money, but he wasn't a millionaire like I thought he was, But I just loved it that he got focused. He's always been very focused in the business. He's always been very passionate. And ever since we're together, he's never let go of his vision of what he wants to accomplish. And that attracted me to him. And that's what I love about. I remember one day, because I just started the business. I didn't know how much about this, and I didn't understand that he had to get out of the house, go out, do presentations, come back late at night, and I didn't understand that. And one day I was just claiming, why do you come so late? Why this? Why that? And he said, look, Irene, this is what I'm going to tell you. Even if you fight with me, even if you are not okay with it, I'm doing my business. This is what I told you from the beginning. Now, if you are doing your I don't know how to translate it in Spanish, but your gibberish or complaining, I'm not going to listen to you. I am going to do this even if you complain or not. You're either by my side or not. And I said, okay, let me stop for a minute and let me let me take that. And you know what? I like what he said. I like what he said, because that showed me right there that he wanted to do this, and he was sure of where he was going. So from there on, my husband said, I got pregnant, and he said, after you had the baby, you're not gonna work for anybody anymore. I'm gonna help you stay home and be with your child. That's what I wanted to do. At the beginning, it was hard for me because I saw myself, as a professional. I like to make money. I like to produce, and it was a little hard. But then, being at home, I learned that I could do the same thing, make money from home, being with my kids, and grow personally, financially. And this is what I love. This is what I love. From there on, when my child was born, I didn't go back to work. I stayed home with my child. We started going to meetings together. I remember I could breastfed my child for a long time. And that's one of the things I love about it. I could do a really nice bond with my team, with the girls in my team. I worked from home, doing phone calls at my own time. We would go out, have breakfast together. When I was working, I didn't have that. I just would wake up, get dressed, and go back to work. And it's just one of the things that I love about this business. Is just being with my spouse, being together, being able to get up in the mornings and take my son to school, be with my little girl. It's just awesome, just the way that we are with this business. It's just the freedom that we are. We can go anywhere, anytime we want. We can go to bed at whatever time we want, and we can travel. The money is not a problem anymore, and it's just things, and doesn't require 100% of our time to produce this income. We do it from home now. The business is getting so much better, where people know what they got to do. They just go out there. They don't need our help that much anymore. And we're of course still getting this business building it. But that's just one of the beautiful things about, yes, you got to work a little more in the beginning, but then afterwards, it's just gonna have the time of the world to do the things that you really want. And I tell the woman out there to believe in this, and if your husband is the one who's doing it, just go 100% to what he's saying. Sometimes my husband comes to me and he comes with some ideas, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. And even if I think that they're like the craziest one, but no, they work, they do work, and then you just find out. I just find out that they do work. So I just say, whatever you say, let's go. I'm always next to him, 100%. Whatever he says, I am always with my team, with my leaders, telling them, giving them their support. That's what I love. Showing them that they can do this. Anybody can do this. Even if you have 2 kids like I do, you have 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. Like right now, I'm doing this phone call, and it's part of it. I do take care of my customers when I'm at home. That's one part. That's my job that I have to do. Give supports to my ladies, get them very close to me, get them into a nice relationship with me, with all of the team, and just keep doing it and working towards our goals, because we're not finished. We have a lot of things to still be accomplished with this business. So that's my story, but if you guys have any questions, I'm free to answer them.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know who wants to start with questions. I have a couple of questions now. If you guys want to write your questions on the chat. It just seems a little more organized. Now, you can also just raise your hand and I can give the word to the person raising your hand, whatever way works for you. I'll start with my first question while my ladies here, I think I have somebody from Kenya or Nigeria again. I think it may be the same person. We haven't introduced that person, but everybody else, if you have questions for Irene. My first question, Irene, was as I was making the poster, the flyer, I noticed that you were part of the Transform program and that you were able to get $1,000 check for transformation. And that was amazing because I can't believe you had all that weight on. And so could you tell me a little bit how that Transform started? And, was this before the baby, after the baby? Just, tell me a little bit about Transform. And next we have Claudia with the first question on the chat.
Yes. Look, after I had my second child, during my pregnancy, I did really bad choices and were what I should eat. I mean, I don't blame her. I blame myself, of course. I went all out. I mean, I gained a lot of weight. And my husband loved fried foods. So I started eating a lot of fried foods and eating late at night. That's one of the things that got me really, really heavy. And when it was last convention in Atlanta, this box of 30-day acceleration program acceleration system came out. I was like, wow, this is awesome. It came with a nice booklet inside that would tell you how to use it. I had some workout videos at home that I was just putting on the side because they were hard and I didn't want to commit to that. Hold on, let me put some light on. There you go. And I didn't want to commit to that, but I would keep postponing it, and I didn't do it. So I found out that the challenge would come on that next January on 2017. So I was like, okay, I have to commit myself. I was 186 pounds. I'm only 5'2". So I was size 14 in clothes. I was never that big. And I wasn't happy with myself. I would look at myself in the mirror and it's like, no, this is not me. I didn't want to buy any more clothes bigger than that. And I was frustrated. So I committed to myself for those 3 months using the system, eating better. I can't tell you I made a drastic change in my diet. I did not. I still ate things that I like. But I ate moderate. I stopped eating at night. I would eat rice, beans, meat, fried foods at night. That would get me so big. I mean, that's just the baddest thing you could do at night. And I stopped doing that. And in 3 months, I was able to lose 2 pant sizes. And what you call that? The protein shake, it's so good because you lose so much weight in so much fat. Okay, I lost 2 pound sizes, but it was only 10 pounds that I lost, and those 10 pounds was all over my body in inches. So I got to lose a lot of fat using those products, using the 30-day acceleration system. My husband would tell me, he would come home and said, "You're gonna eat again?" Because I was eating a lot, but I was eating good things. And he said, "You're not gonna win." He would fight with me because you're not gonna win, so just stop it. You're not gonna win because you're eating too much. And I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I've learned. Let me do this. And he was surprised I won $1,000, but he saw, when you're with a person and you live with them, you don't see the changes. But when he saw the before picture and the after picture, he didn't say anything. And of course, when he found out that I won $1,000, of course he was happy. But let me tell you, just keep going. If you're trying to lose weight, don't look at the weight machine. Just look at how the clothes are fitting. And that the scale, I mean, at the scale. Don't look at the scale. Just notice how the clothes are fitting looser, and just measure yourself. Keep measuring yourself. That's a good, accurate way for you to know that you're getting in progress, because you get on the scale, you're doing exercise, you're eating well, and then you get on the machine and it says 2 more pounds than yesterday, and of course you're gonna get frustrated. But it's not like that. That's how I got better in that. I learned.
Great. So I know you can see the text. I just want to clarify, actually, Claudia, your question, because your question says, how do I start from scratch after 8 years? So is it because you're starting another, like you've been in network marketing before and you want to start again after 8 years? Claudia, you have the mic. You can unmute yourself, and just so that Irene gives you the right answer that you want. And now we have also Gabby and Heidi with some questions. But Claudia, is it because you want to start from scratch, or how did she start from scratch when she started 8 years ago? What was?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead. Ask her the
Okay.
question.
The question is, how do you start from scratch? Because I've been with For Life for 8 years. I'm at a point right now that I really have to start from scratch. I have a network, but it's not working.
Okay.
I'm trying to prospect people. I'm working online through my website. But in your case, you were very successful, and congratulations, Arlene. But I'm asking you, how should I do it? If you have any tips for me, okay?
Thank you, Claudia. You clarified it. Now it's perfect. Okay, Irene, go for it.
Yes, Claudia, look, it always starts your why. Like Gabby says, your why. Why are you doing this business? What is your dream? 8 years ago, why did you started this business? Is it because you want to have more time with your spouse, your family, or you want to travel, or you want to have that quality time, or it always starts there. That's your first step. Always from starting from scratch. It's like you just started you signed your what you call that, the application today. And I'm sitting with you and say, okay, what is your dream? Why do you want to do this? And then the second step, I want to tell you to commit to your dream, to your dreams. Commit. Or wait, do your goals. What are your goals first? What are your goals? That's the second step. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve in maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, a month? How much money do you want to make? So according to how much you want to make or what do you want to achieve, then how are you going to commit? What are you going to do to achieve that? Okay. So how many people are you going to prospect? How many people are you going to have? What's the list? Write down your name, the names of the people that you have prospected 8 years ago. Write them down again. It doesn't matter. Just do a list again and start doing it. How many people are you going to call in the day? And just start doing a plan. And from there, do your presentation and start doing that. It's just, I would suggest for you, these steps are in the same For Life University. Okay, go in there, and just the new person that would just come into the business, I would send them right there to the For Life, or sit down with them. I would sit down with them or over the phone and go over, okay, what are your dreams? What are your goals? Okay, let's commit. Okay, if you commit, I commit. All right, and just start doing the plan, your list, your list of people, your meetings, your follow-up, and then always with your upline, talk with your upline, see what happens, have communication with them. Your upline have gone through a lot, and so they know how to better assist you and guide you in the process. But I think your first step from scratch, it's your dreams, Claudia, your dreams.
And I agree, Claudia. Irene has it right on the spot. Gabby has said it over and over and over. It is all about, and this is why one of the challenges that we had for not this meeting, but the next one, but for this week was if all of you would commit to actually doing the step-by-step, because it starts right away with going back to the why, going back to the dream. And dreams change, Claudia. So maybe 8 years ago was something different, but then you have to find a why that burns so hard in your heart that doesn't let you sleep at night. So you had it before, and you probably can get it again. Gabby, I want you to tell us a little bit about that. So you're writing. If everybody's following the chat, we got some information from Heidi. But I want Gabby to actually talk about lives, and it brings me back to the next segment, which is I want Irene to talk to us about her new way of prospecting, which are her Facebook Lives. And so, Gabby, that's a great opener because I want Irene to go to getting a little bolder now and doing these lives that she's doing. I'm watching them, and so, Gabby, go ahead. You have the word.
Well, I believe that when you do a Facebook Live versus a Facebook post, people are more, they want to hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm. Somewhere a post is like you could just scroll through Facebook and read it and then just move on. But when you do a Facebook Live, you're actually hearing, let's say Claudia, the one that just asked the question, they're like, oh my gosh, what's Claudia up to? You know, what's she going? What's she doing? And then she's talking about maybe how to make oatmeal with our protein or something. She just, she's just kind of doing a quick Facebook Live, and she's having her kids or grandkids taste it, and they're like, "Wow, Grandma, this tastes good." So then they're like, "Whoa, what's this going on? What's this about?" So even if it has nothing to do with your business, even if you're out for the day at the beach, or let's say you're at Disneyland, or, she's doing all this stuff and people are wondering, how can she do all this stuff? What is she up to? Then they'll catch up. And another way too is, and as I always tell people, there's people that sometimes invite you to parties and weddings and all that. You could always ask, hey, maybe not at a wedding, but maybe at a birthday party or something, could I put a nice cold picture of my Rio Vida burst, and put your cards right there, because if you want more information on this delicious drink, grab a card. Or you know what, even better, I read somewhere that if you put business cards out, people tend to just put them in their pocket and forget about them. So tape it to the punch bowl, tape it to the punch pitcher, and have them just take a snapshot of it. Because when they're looking through their pictures, they'll see that and they'll remember it. It's like a digital business card, and they'll keep it. These people tend to keep pictures that, and they'll remember, oh, yes, I like that drink. So then they'll probably call you for more information. So, there's so many ways. We could be here all day just talking about it. But anyway, that's my take on it. Go ahead, Claudia.
Irene, so go ahead, and that was my next question or my next comment that I wanted you to share with us. So Gabby brought it right back in there. It is the Facebook Lives. I see that this is something, I don't know if it's new for all of us, but I know you're enjoying it, you're loving them. That one that you did with the orange and the manicure set was fantastic. So tell us a little bit more about the lives. You're muted, unmute yourself.
I have been doing live videos for a while, but I have not been consistent. And that has been, I think, one of my things. And I guess by ignorance, now I know it, but I have to be consistent to doing those videos. Not only, and I have learned that it doesn't have to be about my business or the product all the time. It could be about something that I love to do, a hobby, or how being with my kids, learning from Gabby that have telling me, learning from the meeting that we did at convention with Jeff Ogilvers. with the social media event that they had. And one of the things that I've noticed is when I do that, the other day I did one with the book that I was reading, that I was just going to check in back to the library. And a lot of people went in there that would comment on anything else that I've done about the business or anything related, anything business related. They would just go in and tell me about, oh, how nice, nice to see you, because it was just something general, it would have to be, it's kind of connected to my business because that's why I'm reading it, but I didn't do it that way. So and I got to connect with new people again. And that's what we want. We want traffic in our page. We want people to reconnect with us, not through the business side, but reconnecting as a relationship. Remember, we're in a relationship business, and sometimes I forget about that. Sometimes I just want to go jump in right then and tell you, here's the product, here's the essential oils, this smells so good. No, we would have to first start with a relationship. Where are you from? Where have people just know about us a little more and not have them think that we just want them because they want to buy our products or have them join our business. No, it's not that way. We just have to be in the human side all the time and say, okay, this is a person. Let me treat them as they're my friend, my family. And you see that that's going to be so much better. And that's what we can do in the Facebook Lives as well. Reconnect with people, have relationships. Sometime they're going to ask, hey, how's your business? Where are you going? Or they're going to see you traveling and getting all these free trips from the company. And they say, oh, I want that, or, you have so much time with your kids. It's just so nice to see you being with them and caring with them, taking them to school or having breakfast with your husband. They're just going to see you doing the things that they would love to do. So that's how you attractive marketing. I think that's what it's called.
Attraction marketing. Yeah. Attraction marketing. So that is, she's doing great with those lives. So Claudia, I know that you did your own meeting and it's a great start. We want to catch up to technology, not let technology, step over us. And that's what we're doing. And so anybody else has any more questions, or should I continue with one more that I have for her? Okay. So
Heidi had a question about how long it took Irene to, Heidi, ask your question.
Oh, yes, I see it. Heidi, how long did it take you to quit your job and just do for life? So this is a great question because this is one that we always want. So so Irene, you said you had a great salary. How did you go from part-time to full-time? And I know it's not the same for everybody, but just walk us a little bit again through your advice. More than
Yes.
How long did it take you? What would you advise your new people or the people in this group to transition from full-time to part-time, and then from part-time to full-time into for life?
Yes.
With such a great
well, you always start this business part-time. You have to do it part-time, 1 to 2 hours a day, 3 to 5 days a week. That's just what you have to commit to the business in the beginning if you want results, if you want to start seeing results. It's not I gave a presentation today and then I'll give another presentation in 2 weeks. It's just not gonna work like that. So when I got together with my husband, we got together and we united forces, it was we started working very hard. I didn't have kids, so we got together in 2010. I had my first child in 2014. I got to quit my job in 2014, and it was it was nice. We had to work hard. We had to still work, do all that. But we got to. It took us like 4 years together or something like that for me to quit. But I mean, it all depends how you work this business, how much time you put into it. I mean, I don't want you to compare yourself with others when it's just yourself. You could do in less time. You could do it in take you longer. I mean, it's just how much you committed and how much time you put into it. But yes, it took me about 4 or 5 years or so to get out of the business. I mean, of my job.
Thank you. And I want to point out that because I know that sometimes we miss on some of the things that she says. So Heidi, and for the rest of the team, you got to remember that when she said, I stayed home, she really meant I stayed home and made my phone calls. And so this is a lot of what we forget, which is this is still going to be treated as a business. And you want to count at the end of the day how many hours and how many phone calls you actually made. Because if you're staying home, and again, we talked about it, if you're only watching the webinars or you're only looking at, the For Life University and you're not making the calls, then the business is going to take a little longer. It doesn't mean that it's not going to work. It just means it's going to take longer. So you have to add into the scenario or into the equation, how much time do I really have? Because I have a husband, I have an elderly mom, I have a child, or I have 5 children, whatever your circumstances are going to give you actually a formula of how much time you are able to put into that business. But also, and this is where Irene and myself, we are very lucky because I also connect with Gabriela often as I can, if I can do every day, to keep connected to your upline and the person that knows your dream and the person that will not let you quit, but will also motivate you to keep doing it. Because if you're alone in this business, and I know Heidi is super connected to us, so this is what keeps it going, which is like, okay, you know what? It works for other people, so it's going to work for you. If you disconnect, and this is why we created this meeting, then you're like, oh, it's me that doesn't work. No, the business works, and you also work, but it's the combination of different things, which is going to the meetings, going to the trainings, going to the webinars, and doing the work in the hours that you have allocated for the work. If you don't want to call people and you're just connecting online, you got to make sure that the connecting is not just scrolling through Facebook, but actually connecting by sending the person that message where and they said it at convention, they said with the new app, you launch and you say, that company that I told you I was working for, we launched a new line of essential oils. I'm going to send you some information. When can we try it? Can I send you a sample so that, going back to Gabby, if I sent you a sample, would you tell me what you think? Or if I sent you some information, would you tell me what you think about my company? Or would you refer me to somebody that you know? Going back to, Gabby has been doing it over and over with us for a couple of weeks. So it really is counting the amount of hours. If it's only 5 a week, that's fine, 5 a week. If it's 20 a week, that's a part-time, that's 20 a week. But logging them and going back to the upline so that you can actually be accountable for that time that you are allocating to your business. So that's my advice. So the last question I have. Oh, go ahead, Jean.
One thing, a couple of things real quick. I remember Dave Daughtry, I'm pretty sure it was Dave, said that if you draw a straight line across from left to right, when you first start your business, and this is later on, this is 10 years down the road, and then you take another line over here and you go up like this. At the very beginning, the first few years of your business, you're going to have very little free time because you need to spend your time working on your business. But as the years progress, your free time gets bigger and bigger and bigger that you have available to you. So you do have to work very hard right at first to get your business started. But once you have arrived, you have more free time. Now, Dave and Gabby are not that way because they just keep on trucking. They keep on going and working and working and working. But, the time that is available to you is there. They just give their time to us. So the other thing that a suggestion that I wanted to make is to purchase, if you can, purchase a calendar that is dated. Each day has time slots every 15 minutes. If you can do it, if you can get a calendar like that. We have a year calendar, and every day it starts at like 7 o'clock and it goes all the way till 7 or 8 at night, or 9 at night, and every 15 minutes. And that way you can document, one, what you're planning to do, and two, what you have done, so that you can go back and you can it helps remind you when you contacted somebody, you set the time that you're going to recontact them, so that you can have on your calendar, it already scheduled that you're going to do that day. And it helps to keep you organized. And if you'll do that from the very beginning, it really does help to keep you organized. Okay?
Gabby's saying, go to a beauty salon. They sell appointment calendars if you would like that one too. Yeah, it's called it's a day planner, and it goes every 30 minutes. And that's the one that Michael and Judy also were advising to get, which is not only when you're going to call them, but when you're going to follow up with them, because it's about the follow up. And so Claudia and Heidi, and the part about starting a business or restarting a business, I'm reliving it myself right now, and it really is about your follow-up and follow-up and follow-up, which is many calls to the same person. Go ahead, Gabby.
One other thing that Claudia, the lady that was asking, how do I start over again? She does have an upline, and she does have an upline, and she can always go to them. And if, let's say that they don't want to help her, I would think, why not? I mean, they would benefit tremendously from her working and her wanting to work. So just go to your upline and say, hey, you know what? Can you help me with this, this, and this? You got to know where you want to go. You got to know how much money you want to make. Okay? You got to know what you want to do. You have to have a plan. And that's where our dream books come in. Again, our dream books, we have to put our plan together. And just go to your upline, because, gosh, they would benefit so much if you started becoming a diamond, and then a presidential diamond. And oh my gosh, the just the work that you would give. Just building your business, So anyway, that was my thought.
One of my favorite sayings is, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. And if you can dream it, you can become it.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, so we're closing for today. Irene, you have been fantastic. One last tip, one motivational saying, anything that you want to give us just to walk that week, that Monday that is, coming in front of us with great excitement.
Yes. Let me see if I'm muted. No. Okay. Ladies, just keep doing it. Keep working. Sometimes you're not going to see like the results you really want, but you just got to stick to it and just keep going, and you'll see that it's just going to come. It's just going to come what you want. Your goals are going to be achieved, and your dreams, you're going to get them out there, and you're going to be living them. So just keep going, ladies. Just keep going.
Great.
Just don't look to the side. Just keep going.
And don't listen to what people say.
Yes.
Good. Okay, with that, I love everybody in this team. Thank you for being so, participating in everything. We are Women Empowering Women, and we are here for each other. Claudia, I know that you have great relationships with Judy. If you want to start writing me, we connect, whatever you want, in English and Spanish, in any language. That's what we're here for. And it's not only about for life. This group is also about connecting. If you have sometimes something that you want to tell someone else, and that's not necessarily your downline team, because sometimes we don't want to tell our downline team that we're feeling, some downtime or something. You always have the cross lines, that what we call our cousins, to bring that spirit up again. And so that's what we're here for. With that said, thank you very much. I'm going to end the meeting and start uploading this to YouTube so that you guys can start sharing this beautiful, amazing testimonial from this wonderful mom and wife and friend, Irenne Rodriguez. Thank you so much, Irene. We love you.
Thank you, Irene. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you,
Have a great week.
Gabriela.
Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.